I'll show you this very quickly, all right, is that, all of my classes are recorded. That little red dot you see on the TV up there, it's a recording of the course, all right? So when you go into class,
It's for the YouTube, portion of
it's the
class.
YouTube channel, yeah.
Okay.
So that is, so it takes, like today's class won't upload for a couple of hours, because somebody has to physically say upload it, okay?
All right.
So when you go into class, click on announcements, and you will see, that's where it will be, the link, it's a link that will always show up. So there's the great breakdown, there's the link to YouTube recording of the class.
Okay, that's the
So you
second
just
thing.
click on that, and that's where it'll be. So that's the first day of class right there.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell you that there's probably, we had trouble getting connected, didn't we? So there's some dead time in the class
All right.
on Monday. The schools weren't there, because I have two schools, so I don't even remember. I have two schools, I have Post and Morton, along on the TV, so,
All right.
so there's a
when
little
will
bit of
the
dead time.
quizzes be posted in the,
That, what'll happen is when you're in Blackboard, let's go, let's see, am I in y'all's class? Let me see what section, no, I'm in the wrong class, let me get in y'all's section. There's no grades yet, so it's nothing to worry about,
yeah, that's perfect. All right.
okay? Well, you know, you don't need to see other people's grades. Have you worked in Blackboard at all?
I just skimmed over it last night.
Okay, so let me warn you, sometimes when you get in, you cannot see the menu on the left-hand side, but can you see there's a blue kind of line right over here on the edge? You can see it on that screen a little bit. Right
Yeah.
here, there's also that arrow. If you can't find the course menu, and that's what this is on the left-hand side, just
Mhm.
look for a blue line or an arrow. So, when you go into, instructor information is where it's the easiest place to communicate with me, because I have several sections. I've got about 180 students in my classes.
Uh-huh.
So, if you send me a course message, if I wanna talk to my instructor, where do I go? Instructor information. So if you go into instructor information, there's a place to send me course messages. And here's a tip, anytime you communicate with an instructor, you need to tell them what class you're in and what section, because we all teach more than one, okay?
Gotcha.
So here in, you probably looked through, did you look at instructor information and see my wonderful avatar? Course messages is the best way to send me messages,
All right.
because it's in the course, so I know exactly which class you're in, so I don't have any confusion about that.
Gotcha.
So, the other important area is, not the grade center, is going to be course content. That's where all the information is. So this week, those quizzes will show up in week 1. And because I'm the instructor, I see a lot more information than you guys do. But this checklist is basically a copy of that week's assignments from the syllabus, so they should match up,
All right.
okay? And which gives you the dates of everything. There's a writing process PowerPoint. We're not going over it, because if you read the chapters, it should cover what's in the PowerPoint.
All right.
And it's boring. Yeah, let's be honest. I'm not big on lecturing like that. Formatting documents for class, that's important. It should be double-spaced. You need to have the correct heading. So if you open up this document, all you have to do is, do you have a laptop?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You're welcome to have it out in class, but, Mac or a PC?
It's actually Chromebook.
Okay, Chromebooks use Google Docs. Google Docs will not open in Blackboard. You have to save it as a Word document.
Okay.
So when you get stuck, if you ever get stuck and you don't know how to get something modified, go to YouTube and say, how do I change Google Docs to Word, okay? And watch a video on it. It's not that difficult. But I don't do Google Docs, so it's just what happens. But here in that week 1, there's also a copy of how the documents should be formatted. You can just change this document, save it. Do you have Word on your computer? Or do you do everything in Google Docs?
I do everything in Google Docs.
Awesome thing for you, because you are an SPC student, you have a free copy of Office 365 while you're in school.
Yes.
Okay, and it's in that Start Here page. There's a technology requirements, and it's down in that list. But you can save documents there. I'm hitting you with a lot of stuff. Just go watch that YouTube video. You can stop it and look when you're doing it. All right, and you can skim through it. But that's one of the things. but we have this personal paragraph due, so, there's the information. There's an introductory discussion board. Again, you're gonna answer questions about yourself and respond, so.
Alright, so
And-
is that all the first two quizzes are?
The first two quizzes will be in here. They will not be in here until tomorrow. They open up tomorrow. Now, you have an hour to take the test. It's up to you because you've come in so late and you need to get that other issue taken care of. They're only worth 15 points, okay? So
Yeah,
that's
but
30 points for those, so.
regardless, I'm still gonna attempt to do it.
You're gonna attempt them? Okay, so if it's a problem, let me know. But they won't open, they'll be in week 1 because that's what's on the syllabus. So whenever you're looking for information, go back to your syllabus and look at the week 1. Okay? That's also where you would turn in the personal paragraph, which we're gonna cover that in class. That's what we're doing today in 50 minutes. So I don't need to see you again until next Monday. But you have work due today, tomorrow and Friday. I think the quizzes are tomorrow and the introductory discussion boards are due on Thursday. And, the personal paragraph is due Friday by midnight.
Alright,
Yeah.
how many words does that have to be?
It's not words, it's sentences, because it's only a paragraph. And we'll go more into that in class, because they don't know anything about it, so.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you by any chance have the password for the Wi-Fi?
It should be your normal login,
Okay.
isn't it?
I clicked to get it.
Oh, yeah, if you click guest, you can get in. I got in on my iPad on guest. Yeah, and it says, do you trust this site? And you click yes, so. Yeah, that's quicker. Now, there are only so many people who can log in at a time. That's what's quirky about the system. But, one of the things that might help you, and are you Jose or are you Mateo?
Jose.
You're
I'm Jose.
You're Jose, okay. See, you're not, all right. All right, I'm gonna have to reprint out my roster since Dante added the class yesterday, so.
Yeah.
Do you guys know each other?
No.
You just met?
Yes.
Because you introduced yourself. Cool. That's
I
what you
just
should
saw
do.
his name within a second.
Huh?
I listened to his name for a second.
So you stop and think about it?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of faces in the past few days, and so sometimes it takes me a little bit longer. You do not have to wear a mask unless you feel safer. That's okay.
I'm fully vaccinated. I just
So-
did that for everyone else's sake.
Well, I'm fully vaccinated, and I've had it. Huh?
I said y'all are brave soldiers.
Well, it's one of those deals. Oh, you said that. I have a guy on Tuesday, Thursday. He's my oldest student. He's 31. He spent 14 years now. He had 14 years in the Army, and he's retiring at 90% of his salary. He said, I spent the last year sitting at home. I guess he's 32. He said, I spent the last year sitting at home, and I got bored. So I decided to get an education, get another job. It's pretty good. He got 90% of $78,000 a year. That's his retirement from the military. He's also served in combat zones, so I think he deserves it. So.
Yes, he does.
And did you look at all those little tabs on the left-hand side? Because one of the neat things is the syllabus and schedule.
So let me show you exactly what I'm seeing.
Okay,
Alright, just so I can understand how I'm supposed to do
okay,
this.
so you've got two
Alright,
classes.
so it gives me the little tab right there.
Okay,
Oh, never mind. That's my own personal.
and you can do that. So when you need to go into math, you click on math, but for English, you click on mine. That's all you do,
Alright.
okay? So when you go in here, it's gonna default to start here. I may change the default to course content after, we have to have it on start here for the first 2 weeks, but I may change it to course content. Would that be easier for you guys, maybe?
Yeah.
To go right into that?
Sometimes I get confused whenever I'm trying to like.
Scroll down. And you see technology requirements, right here it says Office 365. Let's see, as a member of the SPC community, you have free access to Office 365.
Alright.
And so what you do is click on that link, and then you use your SPC email, and they'll send you a link to either use it online or download it. So, but did you have Office on yours already?
Yes.
You did, okay. I can't remember from Monday, because I've asked
Yeah,
that question.
also-
I've asked that question several times.
Yeah, 'cause I think my brother messages a lot of like computer programs and stuff like that, and he had it to where it was half Microsoft, half Apple, so it came with the left.
Okay, all right, so what, you clicked on that link?
Yeah, that's
Go-
what it takes me to.
Okay, go back, let's see. Or it might have moved permanently to new web address. Let me see if I can come up with it another, oh wait, I need to keep an eye, oh, it's 10:05, we should be teaching. The schools aren't there. Hold on, okay, sorry. This happened the other day.
No, you're perfectly fine.
Oh, where are my schools? Huh. Well, we can do a little bit of this afterwards, all right, if that's okay with you.
I understand.
So we're missing Morgan, Reed, who didn't come to the first one, Mateo, right. And I don't have that many high school kids. I think there's only like 12, there's only 12 on the TV. I have 30 in my 9 a.m. class, so,
And I only saw like 3 to 4, 3 to 5.
well, what you see is, you're only gonna see the section that you're in, which is a 200 section. 200 sections are SPC. I also have sections 441, 442, 443, 444. Those are all high schools that I teach. So, the high school section is 442, and I have 2 schools with only 12 kids in it. So this is my smallest class. That's good for you guys. Let me see, let me go in and see. I've heard back from Brooke. It was delivered, okay. This happened on Monday too. We're gonna talk about that. That's what I'm waiting on. I don't wanna teach it to you guys and then have to reteach it.
Presuming this is the example, and this one's basically going.
That's the example, that's one for you guys to figure out on your own how it does, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Wait, this one's the example?
That's, well, the top part is a paragraph that I wrote about me. The second paragraph is my explanation of what's going on in that paragraph organizationally. Because that's one of the things that students don't know, is we don't know how to write well-organized paragraphs.
Honestly, I can agree with that.
Okay? So that's what this is about. So I figure that's why it's only worth 30 points. If we can figure out, we need to be critical readers, and so that's part of what's going on with this, charting the paragraph.
That's why it's called composition one.
Yeah.
They understand how to write and they understand
We hope so.
what they're reading.
Yeah, we hope so. Where are my schools?
Somehow I passed English with flying colors, but math is my issue.
It's your Achilles heel, huh?
Apparently.
What was that? When I said Achilles heel, what literary device is that? Do you guys know who Achilles is?
Achilles was basically a Roman,
Greek.
warrior that somehow fell.
Well, Achilles heel, his mother dipped him in a river, one of the Greek rivers that made him immune to harm from any kind of weapon, but she held him by his heel. So he is killed in the Trojan War because somebody shoots an arrow into his heel. So that's what an Achilles heel is, it's your weakness. So my weakness is math too. And I don't know where my schools are, what is going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a while since I've looked at the different ways of writing.
Well, we're only gonna write this paragraph, we're gonna write a narrative, a compare and contrast essay. Oh, my timer went off. I'll call now.
Meaning, you argue one side, but you also consider the other?
Yes, yeah. I've actually planned it. In the past, I've not had kids write counter arguments, but I've decided to try it this semester. Well, I've cut out one paper. We're not writing a descriptive essay, because that's one reason why we're doing the paragraph, so. Well, we begin with a narrative because mostly what you write for the STAR test are narratives of some kind.
Yeah.
You're telling a story, basically. So that's why we're doing it. I'm just gonna play my game while I'm waiting for, while I am,
I didn't see anything.
well, this is an issue. There's always some kind of technology problem happening. Please don't be. Hold on. There we go. I wondered where y'all were. Just know, you just know, come in the door, okay? Reed? Are you Reed?
No.
Okay, what, your name is?
Joe.
Mateo, okay, all right, Mateo. Here's a copy of the syllabus.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh, you were? Okay. Monday, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I will say yesterday also, okay? So, don't panic, that's just one of those sad, quirky things that happens to people as we get, because I teach the same thing every day, and I'll just say yesterday, but I really meant the last time we were in class, so we're still missing Reed. That's why I keep hoping for Reed. So, you need to get copies, there should be 2 pages at the back table, get one of each, okay? Okay. I still don't have the goals. Oh, this is so much fun. The good news is we can cover this pretty quickly, all right? So, Dante, if you have your paperwork at home, like she said, I would just go in and talk to someone and make sure what you're supposed to do, and then you can do it from home. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Okay. I got an email from, there, but the region hasn't connected yet. Okay. Okay, I just emailed my 2 schools. One of them already emailed me. The instructor, the person from Post, I actually have their band director. He is my facilitator there. It's kind of crazy. Whereas the band director at Crosbyton is my facilitator there, so. So here's hoping we get the connection. Again, this doesn't take super long to teach, but, okay. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna send Reed a message, wanting to know where he is. I've had one person not show up in my 9 a.m. class. You know, you miss the first week of school, it becomes a problem. I'm just saying. Unless they're trying to, drop the class and add a different one. So, which happens. I'm just gonna go take a peek and see if it's still.
Aside from the personal paragraph, what are the other 2 assignments?
It's reading those chapters and taking the quizzes. That's what's coming up. And the introductory discussion board. Okay. So, the introductory discussion board is extra credit. I actually went through and graded all the ones that were done as of about 7 o'clock yesterday. You just go into the discussion board and create a thread, answer the questions, and then you respond to 3 other students. And it's 5 extra credit points. And like I was telling Dante, if you get stuck and aren't sure how to do something in Blackboard, there is a help button up there that links to videos, or you can just go to YouTube and type in, how do I do whatever the issue is in Blackboard? How do I convert pages to a Word document? How do I convert Google Docs to a Word document? YouTube has all kinds of instructional videos. I use it all the time. And what's amazing to me is kids go, I don't know how to do this. Well, you can do all this other crap on your phone, why can't you do that? And don't use a phone. Yes, it's in Blackboard, it's in the week. So when you go into, it doesn't matter, it's the same, basically the same class. So you go to week 1, go into course content, go into week 1, and it will not show up until 7 o'clock. Quiz 1 shows up at 7 a.m. For some reason, I made it 7 a.m. And it will be there until midnight, or 11:59 tomorrow night. See how they're showing up here because I'm the instructor. And then quiz 2 doesn't open up until 8 a.m. So, but you won't see it until that time hits, all right?
I don't believe, is it the checklist?
No, the checklist is the first item on the page. Scroll down. You're not gonna see those quizzes because they're not available to you. I'm the watch what happens. See how it says edit mode is on when I click off? When we go in, guess what we don't see anymore? We don't see the quizzes. Because they're not available. Because kids will go in them and do them early and cheat and do all kinds of things. So, that's why it's timed. But it's really to make sure, wow. This could be a while. Okay. We are at 10:16. Let's talk about the paragraph real quick. And they're recording it, so maybe those students can watch the recordings. All right, we'll do it that way. So let me come over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the paragraph. Don't panic, it's not that big a deal. You have 2 documents. One says, charting the paragraph, and it's got 2 paragraphs on it. All right? Make sure I'm on the right one. Here we go. This should be big enough to see. So, and here's the paragraph, and this is about me. So I would appreciate it if on your paragraphs, when you turn in your final paragraph Friday, that if you number your sentences for me, because I will not print those out. I will do all my grading on those paragraphs online. So if I can say, sentence 1 is okay, sentence 2, ooh, there's a problem, I'll tell you what it is, okay? And that's it, because if you do PDFs, I can't mark on a PDF, whereas I can mark on Word documents. PDFs, are kind of cranky. And I can do some marking on if I'm grading it in things. But anyway, here it goes. It says, and this is exactly what's on your copy. It says,
Would you like us to number before or after this note?
before.
Understood.
Okay, I have several pets in my family. That's a topic sentence. The purpose of a function of a topic sentence is to tell you what's going to be covered in the paragraph. And that's the only thing you can talk about. I'm not talking about writing a narrative. I'm talking about writing a paragraph as if you were going to write something for process or evaluation or argumentation or compare and contrast. The paragraph tells the reader what's going to be covered, all right? Second sentence says they range from dogs to cats to hermit crabs. I give you a list of 3 things I'm going to discuss, my 3 pets: dogs, cats, hermit crabs. And I give you an order. Order is important. If you ever give an order, like a thesis is supposed to say, I'm going to talk about this and this and this, you follow the order. Organization, unity, and cohesion go by the wayside if you don't follow the order, all right? And that's what good writing is. So sentence 3, my dogs are Abby, who's a 6-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix, and Baca, a 4-year-old Black Labrador. I'm sorry, but both of my dogs have died in this story. Baca just died last year at 14, so that's how old this paragraph is. Even though she is much smaller than the lab, Abby tells Baca exactly what she thinks of him and where he needs to go. Chihuahuas do that, okay? On the feline side, our house is home to Popcorn, a 16-year-old tabby female, and Pippin, a 6-year-old Maine Coon. He looked like they're both dead. He looked like a raccoon. His coloring was a lot like a raccoon, kind of crazy. Pippin uses his size to pick on the smaller, older female. Our house would not be complete without the hermit crabs, Princess Leia, and Wedge Antilles. If you can't tell, I like to name pets after characters out of
Star Wars?
well, not just Star Wars. Baca, well, that would be it. Other stuff. I have a dog named Dobby right now, and I have a dog named Reese, but he's named for a character out of a book series, so. Dobby has ears that look just like Dobby the house elf.
Oh.
Hey, at least you knew what I was talking about. At 9 a.m., they had no clue what I was talking about. I said, you guys don't? Yeah. I said, you guys don't know fantasy? You don't know? That's crazy. All right. They are the quietest pets I own, and the most exciting thing they do is climb up and stand on the top of the artificial palm tree. That gives us crab trees. That's how old my crabs are. That Michael Crabtree was playing for Texas Tech. And so I think I'm the person that originated this when he was in there. Because I had crabs, and that's what crabs do with their claws. So. And it would be very boring in my house without these pets. That's 10 sentences. You only have to do 8. We'll come back to this in a second. So this explains what's going on. Sentence 1 is the topic sentence for the paragraph. Sentence 2 is more specific. It mentions the types of pets in the family. and in an order. So sentence 3 deals with the first pet type mentioned, the dogs. It gives their names and their ages, like you get a little bit of information. More specific information, so it gets more specific as you go along. Sentence 4 further defines the behavior of the dogs, staying unified with the pet topic. Sentence 5 signals a transition from dogs to cats. That's on the feline side. That's what it is, a transition phrase, okay? Which tells the reader that the writer is done with the canine portion. Also, this sentence is similar to sentence 3 by providing information about the cat's names and genders. Sentence 7 uses a more subtle transition to the hermit crabs. Sentence 8 talks about their behavior similar to sentences 4 and 6 that examine that in the cats and dogs. Sentence 9 further refines that, and sentence 10 finishes the paragraph by closing the issue with a broader statement, still unified with the topic of pets. So, now I'm going to talk about what charting the paragraph means, okay? I'm coming over to my document camera, and I will email both of my schools and say, you can watch the video, sorry. So, I'm going to come over here. So think of the topic sentence as the umbrella, that everything must fall under the umbrella. So I'm going to have to draw a really long umbrella, okay? It's not a great picture, but there it is. So then I'm going to start over here with sentence 1, and it says pets, okay? Sentence 2 gives dogs, cats, crabs, okay? It's more specific, it's still on topic. Sentence 3 talks about the dogs. I gotta scroll back up and look at the sentences, sorry. I don't have them, I should have them memorized. It gives you information about Abby and Baca, which is short for Chewbacca. He was the awesomest, he was a black lab, he was about 95 pounds. He was an awesome dog. I miss him still. Let's see. And they see, we're just not connected. That's apparently, they're there, the region's not connected to SPC. That's our problem. Okay. Let me just say. Sorry. All right. So we've got, let me go back over to the paragraph now. Okay. Sentence 4 is about their behaviors. Okay, so it's more specific. So please notice that it's always gotten more specific, so I have indented it to show that it's still covered. So that is cohesion, unity is everything comes under here. Cohesion is everything flows well. All right? Sentence 5 then talks about the cats that has the transition. So it's going to come up here. It's the same level as sentence 3 because it gives their names and so we have Popcorn, snack. We had a series of snack food pets too, okay? Popcorn and Pippin. Do you guys happen to know who Pippin is? Lord of the Rings? One of the hobbits? One of the little hobbits, okay. I couldn't name him Bilbo or Frodo, but Pippin is one of them.
What, 3 days and 3 nights?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you being Gimli? Or, yeah. My daughter's middle name is Arwen. That's how long ago. She's almost 40. I read The Lord of the Rings when I was in middle school, which would have been junior high for you guys, or junior high for me. All right, 5 is on the feline side, so we've got the same information. 6 is more specific. It's about his behavior, or their behaviors, okay? So see how this is flowing so smoothly, okay? That's what's going on. That's what good writing does. It's not a great paragraph, but it's good organizationally. Sentence 7 is then transitions to the hermit crabs. So we have Princess Leia and Wedge Antilles. I used to have 3. The other one was Biggs Darklighter, but he dies actually in the first movie, A New Hope. He dies in that. He's his buddy that gets blown up. Princess Leia died. Wedge Antilles is 17 years old, still living in my house. He is the only starfighter from the first 3 movies that were made that survived all of them. I thought I'd throw that out there, okay. All right, so now we come up to, so we've got the crabs. Sentence 8 is more specific about how quiet they are. Sentence 9 talks about crab trees. Sentence 10 is almost up here on the level with the topic sentence because it goes about, basically says, our house would not be the same without those pets, all right? So this is charting the paragraph. I hate to say it, but the STAR test does you a disservice because it doesn't really require organization, does
I'd
it?
like to ask a quick question.
Okay,
So for sentence 9, when you're basically transitioning to crab trees, how does that connect to the?
because I'm talking about the pets. They stand on top of the artificial palm tree, that gives us crab trees. I wrote this when Michael Crabtree was playing for Texas Tech, so that's where the connection is. I could have left that out and just had 9 sentences, but the kids that first read it thought it was funny, so, all right, that's why it's in there. But it's still on topic, because I'm talking about the crabs standing in the tree, and I use the word crabs, okay? So, you've got another paragraph now, and what I'd like you to do, I'm gonna read it to you very quickly. I want you, that's not the paragraph, Patty. I want you to please, I want you to attempt to chart it. And we're gonna number the sentences together, okay, because that can be an issue. So, let me hit draw here. Draw. Let's do red. Okay. So, there's sentence 1. But I am happy to have the family that I have. Please notice how the paragraph indents. I'll come to that. It's probably post. I have one sister and my mom. Let me go over there and see if that's what that is. Oh. Okay, so somebody answers that question. I have a student in my earlier class who's not going to take the class. Okay. That's fine. They don't have to take it. Okay. Sentence 3 is my mom's name is Jane and my sister's name is Janet. Sentence 4, my mom is the hardest working woman I have ever met. Sentence 5 is my sister is the most compassionate person. Sentence 6 is I also have many dogs. 7 is my best friends are Joe Bob Jones, Austin Smith, Austin Wyatt, Hunter, blah, 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 the rest of that list. Sentence 8 is my life is incomplete without my family, friends, or even my canines. Sentence 9 is I love my mom and sister very much. And sentence 10 is I'm beyond blessed to have them in my life. You only have to do 8. I'm just going to warn you, be careful. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to try to chart this on your own. So how about if I put my chart back up for you to look at, okay? Flip over. I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can, wrong way. Okay. Go back over here. Oh, it does say dropped, okay. Okay.
That's your stuff, right?
No, the practice paragraph, no, that's from a former student. I actually know all those individuals, that's not their real names, but I know all the individuals. I am still friends with the boy that wrote that paragraph.
By the way, I love when he makes a reference to Walker Texas Ranger.
No, I made the reference to that. Actually, the student's name was Walker, and I changed the last name, so that's me, being crazy. Because I have no life. Get that. Go and discard. Okay. Interesting. How are y'all doing? You almost done? Trying to find a blank piece of paper. Once we get done with this, we're gonna actually cover a little bit possible topics. All right, let's talk about this paragraph. I'm getting messages from schools about students dropping and things like that, so I'm trying to take care of that. All right, so we're going back over here, so we're looking at, let me pull up the paragraph so I can look at it and talk about it clearly. And it's interesting, I cannot hear the schools, it's very, very soft. So in my first class, we're gonna spend a little time talking about possible topics for y'all to write on. I was standing over here so I could hear what the kids were saying. We don't know what's going on with the sound. It's just another problem with technology. So, all right, so we have our umbrella. You really don't have to draw one, but sentence one says, basically, I'm happy to have the family that I have. So I'm gonna write down the word family. That's your topic sentence. You can only talk about family. This way, okay? Two says, I have one sister and my mom. So we have sis and mom, okay? No problems, it's more specific, those are family. Sentence three says, my mom's name is Jane and my sister's name is Janet. Is there anything wrong yet? Tell us if you think there's something wrong.
I feel
The
like,
next sentence following is.
I feel like they should change the way the names were.
Why?
explained.
Why should you change it? I'll just go.
Because in
Sentence
sentence,
two,
in sentence two, he mentioned the sister first, then the mom.
and in sentence three, he flips the order. That is cohesion that's wrong, right? So if you give an order, you have to follow the order. Particularly when you're speaking, think about how ministers in church, we'll say, I'm gonna talk about this and this and this, and so point one was this, and then point two. If you get them out of order, you lose your audience. Any of y'all do, I have coached informative and persuasive. I actually judged informative at the regional level last year for 1A. So you have to be very specific. Order is important. That's what organization is, right? Question?
With me, my issue is I don't see cohesion with.
Wait, we're gonna get to those sentences. Okay, we're gonna get, yeah, okay, you already tell. There are problems, aren't there?
Yeah.
There are problems in this paragraph, okay? So what we have is we've misnamed them in order. But to this student, they've done perfectly fine. And on the STAR test, you probably would get, they would say it's okay. But it's not cohesive, all right? Sentence 4 says, my mom is the hardest working woman. So that's okay. We'll just go hard working. I'm just gonna put HW. I've ever met. Sentence 5 is at the same level. But it's about the sister. She is what? The most compassionate. Okay, she's compassionate, all right? So we're okay. And we're still unified. Sentence 6 says, I also have many dogs.
That's what gets me.
Yeah, okay. How many of you think of dogs as family? Technically, the definitions does not say dogs are part of your family, all right? So family indicates, to a reader, indicates human beings, not pets. So, up here, above sentence 1, go dogs, okay? So we have off topic, all right? I also have many dogs. And there's a transition word in there, also is a transition. Also, I have many dogs. I also have many dogs. There's no information about them, is there?
Nope.
So that's kind of, but the next sentence says, 7, my best friends are that long list of 6 guys. And actually, the guy that wrote this paragraph is getting married in October. I will be at that wedding, and most of those, about 4 out of those 6 will be at that wedding too, so I've known them that long. But the point is, are friends part of your family?
No.
No. So, after 6, we have sentence 7 that's off topic. Okay? So, we're talking 10 sentences here, 20% of this essay is off topic. So we are already down to an 80, and then we got the cohesion issue. I'm just talking about organization. Cohesion issue has an error, okay? So this grade is dropping down into the C already. And I look at sentence 8, and it says, my life is incomplete without my family, friends, or even my canine. That sounds like a closing sentence, doesn't it? But it mentions 2 items that are not on topic with family. So sentence 8 is up here also. So now we've got 30%. So now we have a failing grade on this paragraph. Strictly on organization. Sentence 9, I love my mom. Whoa, that comes over here, down here. It's love. I'll just draw a little heart. And then it says, I'm beyond blessed to have them in my life. Okay, so, and it really should have gone right after mom and sister's description. It shouldn't come down here after talking about all 3. See how it's jumbled. The cohesion is lost on this essay. All right, and then sentence 10 is kind of general, and it could be about anything. I'm beyond blessed to have them in my life. I really don't want to see that paragraph, that sentence ending your paragraph. And I guarantee there will be kids who will use this sentence. I'm beyond blessed to have them in my life. That will show up on some of the paragraphs I get this weekend, okay? So, failing grade. But in this student's mind, everything was about his family. And the first time I read it, I went, oh, this is a pretty good paragraph. And then I went, wait a second, dogs aren't part of the family. Friends aren't part of the family. You know, I went through that and I was like, oh, I hate to do this to you. This student was 4th best speaker, 5th best speaker at state in cross-sex debate his senior year. This is a kid who can argue all day long. So, you know, so this is what we're looking at, all right? So that is a poorly organized paragraph, okay? So, it may look good, and that's part of the problem is, as young writers and readers, you just don't always realize when you've gone off topic.
Well, I feel like could have saved his paragraph or his essay here,
Mhm.
would have been if he had made sentence 8 the topic.
Topic sentence, that's right, good point, and I agree. If it read instead, my life is incomplete without my family, friends, or even my canines. But, family, friends, and canines, that's not the same order that he did them in the paragraph even, so.
Yeah,
No, but it would better cover what's in the paragraph. So then I wouldn't have had to get upset about unity. The unity would be there, the cohesion would be off, but the unity would be there, all right? So, let's talk about what can you write about. You can't write about pets, I'm just telling you. Because all you have to do is pull out the words I used and put in your words, and that's not really writing a paragraph. But, possible topics, and this really freaked out, and I've already had people turn in paragraphs, and I had to delete one because they turned in something I couldn't open, so I was gonna have to delete it no matter what, and, you know. I've had somebody else, I don't know if it's in this section, it might be in this section, from one of the high schools turn in a paragraph, and I'm just like, how can you need to let me instruct you before you get ahead, and I understand, those high school kids who are always getting their work done early, right? Irksome, were you one of those? Maybe, okay. To an extent, you know what I'm saying, those kids who, you copied their math work because they had it done early, right? And they did it right, okay, yeah.
However, here's the joke about that, you could also do that, a separate entire paper, and they'd still get it wrong.
Yeah, that's possible, definitely, they could still get it wrong. So, let's talk about topics we can write it on. Do you have hobbies? I could write about quilting, running, swimming. I could see I have several hobbies I enjoy. There's a topic sentence. I have several hobbies I enjoy. I like to quilt, to run, and to swim. And so, then sentence 3 is gonna, see how I'm following that pattern. Sentence 3 says, quilting is a puzzle that I like to do. Because putting a quilt together requires putting pieces, you know what I'm saying? So I could describe that, then I can transition. I also enjoy running. Okay, it's a slow jog. I did 2 miles last night, it's slow. Took me I was slow last night, I was really tired, because I had to get up so freaking early to teach at 8 a.m., so, this is how it is. But see, then I would transition after I talk about running, and then I would go, one of my final favorite thing to do is swim. I love to swim laps. Don't ask me why, I like to swim laps, and I haven't swum in 2.5 weeks because of school. So, and then I would say, my hobbies help me keep sane, they help me relax, whatever. I get a good tan, It's whatever you wanna say. So hobbies are a possibility. Do you like to play sports? Well, all I'd have to change is basketball, running, swimming are my favorite sports to participate in. Or softball, baseball, football. You know what, see how you can do it? Do you like music? I like to listen to reggae, country and western, and heavy metal. All right. If you're gonna do that, you might wanna say, my favorite reggae artist is so-and-so. And I didn't know, there's that guy from Colombia. I didn't realize it's called reggae something. There's reggae combined with something else. And I hadn't heard that one before. You could talk about, my favorite artist in country and western is Dwight Yoakam. See anybody's favorite anymore? I don't know. Do you see how you could do that? You can write about what kind of TV shows do you like to watch. My favorite, I love to binge watch shows on Netflix. I like to watch, you give me the names of the shows. The TV shows you like to watch are italicized. The titles of TV shows, movies, newspapers, books. You could write about what are your favorite types of books to read, the genres of books you like to read, okay? You could write about your favorite places to go out and eat. Now, I like to eat fast food, I like to eat steak, and I like to eat Mexican food. So there's 3 categories, or you could say, my favorite places to eat are this, give me the names of the restaurants. You don't have to do anything except to capitalize, okay? You could also talk about where you traveled over the summer. During the course of summer, I got to go to several neat places. We traveled to here and here, and if it's only 2, it's only 2, that's fine. Just make sure you've got 8 sentences. If you're, I have one of my students in my 9 o'clock class wanted to write about this paragraph about their sister. That becomes a little more you know, when you limit yourself to one kind of topic, it's a little bit hard to do. Or my sister's a great person, she helps me do this and this and this. See how you try to figure it out. So it is a personal paragraph. That doesn't mean it's gonna begin with, my name is Patty Thompson, and I like sports. No, you're not introducing yourself to the class. My online kids do that all the time. I'm going to Texas Tech, but I'm going to major in this, and then after I graduate, I'm gonna do this, and you're like, oh my Lord, you've got way too much going on in the paragraph. So I'm trying to teach you, not necessarily how to tell me about yourself, but how to organize a paragraph is what I'm after. Okay? So, give you a couple minutes to think about what you might write about. I'm trying to think what other topics there are right there. If you were in high school, the high school kids can write about their extracurriculars, and I can write about stock shows, track, and band. You know, they have that, whereas you guys are a little more limited. You could write about your job. What are your favorite parts about the job that you do? Selling clothes and other strange things may not. You know, I don't know if you can get 8 sentences out of that, but, because I already know he works with Hot Topic. He's already told me that. But you could write about it. Okay, so got a couple of minutes. But think of this as an opportunity to start. You're brainstorming. We're actually coming up with the first draft of your paragraph by brainstorming. What can I write about? Okay, let me see. What are my hobbies? And you kind of make a list of your hobbies. That's getting better. Where are my favorite vacation places to go? It doesn't just have to be last summer. It could be, I've taken vacations to here and here and here. See how that would work? My favorite, somebody's going to write about their favorite amusement park rides. That's pretty good, isn't it? And guess what? That could lend itself into a narrative. Writing about a trip to an amusement park becomes a long story, doesn't it? So there's ways to go. Yeah? You already figured this out?
I'm thinking of how to phrase my first.
Oh, okay. Just don't say, I'm happy to you can write about your family if you would rather do that. Or if you have 2 families, if you have a mother and a stepfather, and a father and a stepmother, you could write about your 2 families. That would work. But don't give me a list of your 10 siblings. If you have 10 siblings, you have my sympathy. That's a big family. And I'm a little bit jealous, too, because I only have 1 brother.
Try 7.
7? Wow. Pretty good size. Well, you could get 1 sentence about each one. The problem with doing something like that, if you just give me 1 sentence about each one, have you really explored the topic?
No, not really.
You could divide it in, I have 3 brothers and 4 sisters. See how now we talk about, here are my 3 brothers, here are my 4 sisters. You talk about the 3 brothers and you tell me a little bit about each one of them. And that does happen. I do get that one a lot, where people write about their siblings. But don't talk about your parents if you're going to write about your sibs. Okay. I'll shut up so you can give me a couple minutes. Because we're almost done.
Do we need, would you prefer us to write this down on paper, paragraph, or?
Well, the paragraph is going to be, that's due Friday, is going to be done, composed on the computer and turned in. Okay? So, yeah, because we're at 9:48. But for the kids at the schools, if you guys are watching this, I would like you to send me a course message telling me what you're going to write on. So, what are you going to write about? Hobbies? Okay, what are you going to do? Hobbies? Hobbies? Places you've traveled. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, but remember...
No, TV shows, sorry.
TV shows. Remember, you do need to give some detail, because the detail is what makes the paragraph more interesting. Like me throwing that in about the crabs, okay? So if you're going to write about the places you traveled, you know, think about how can I tell you just something, a couple of things that really make that place stand out, okay? And are descriptive. If you just say, my brother John is 17 and athletic. My sister Mary is 14 and kind of goofy. You know, try that listing sometimes becomes boring. So be careful to avoid that. Great. Have a great weekend. Remember, the 2 quizzes are tomorrow. They'll open up at 7 and 8. You need to do the individual discussion board. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if anybody's. And by the way, I did grade. Let me get into your class. This is your class. Awesome. Let me go into the discussion board. See if any of y'all have done it. Oh, I know Dante probably hasn't. Heaven, Marcella, Stephen, Jose, Maria, Morgan, okay. None of y'all have done it yet, so be sure and get that done. It's 5 points extra credit. So if you make a 65 on the narrative, 5 points makes that 70, doesn't it? So the extra credit opportunities are there. Have a great weekend, okay? Any more questions you want to ask me about the course?
Paragraph handout.
You have them right there. That's what you got today. Not that, that's the syllabus. Those two things are the paragraph handouts.
Okay, formatting documents for the class.
That's the one I opened up earlier. It looks like this. Maybe, it looks like this. You have to remind me sometimes to switch camera views. So, it's already set up, it's formatted correctly. So where your name is, let me blow this up. You put your name, all right, Dante and Mallory. Then Ms. Thompson is fine. English 1301 is correct, but change it to your section number, which is 201. Yeah. Yeah, change the section number. The date is going to be day, month, year, so it is due Friday, so that'll be 3 September 2021. The date on this one says 12 September 2017. No, 3, write the word September, you can abbreviate it. See, look up on the board, see how it looks, see how it says SCPT, period. Or you can spell out September. You don't ever do slashes backward, okay, on this. It's always day, month, spelled out, or abbreviated, and then the year 2021, 2021. Personal paragraph, there's the title, and it says I have several pets in my family. So that, I just literally took the sentence off of that paragraph. The document is already double-spaced, because the majority, everything but the paragraph I will grade on hard copy. And I make lots of notes. That's my job, is to teach writing. So I will let you know when you write what you've done good and what you've done bad. All right? And the first line of a paragraph always indents. The STAR test is bad because you don't have to indent for that. They tell you not to do that because it takes up space. But the indentation on a paragraph is also organization, because it tells you, here's a new point. Visually, it tells the reader that. So if you don't indent the paragraph, then it all looks like, if you write, a 2.5-page paper and it's one paragraph, your organization becomes an issue, particularly if you don't have good topic sentences. I can normally pick it out because I'm a really good reader, critical reader, but you've got to have that visual cue too. And I will take off if you don't indent paragraphs. Not a lot, but I will take off points. So that's what the document is. And again, it would not allow you to get to that download site. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me go back into technology